And we are back. The second installment of Daily Puzzles. The first installment was absolutely unbelievable. It was painful. I only have the 11th and 12th left, which will be the two most difficult ones, but that entire week took me to the edge, as you can see in the previous video. But here we are. Well, we got decongestant. Okay, let's see how that fares. Actually, let me put my priority mode. There we go. So, what do we have? We've got. It's not going to be queen to f7 check. That much I do know. Although it's being attacked. Just have a look. How many pieces are attacking that square? The pawn, the queen, and the rook. And it's being defended by the queen, the rook, and the king. So I imagine if we can get the king out of there, we're kind of in a good space. So in theory, if I deliver a check with my... What's that? My rook on h1, king takes. Am I then in a position to do some kind of worthwhile damage? I think I'd end up taking with the pawn last in order to promote, I think. So rook to h8, king takes. Then it's forcing moves. What are our forcing moves? Is it rook takes or queen takes? Because our queen is being attacked by his knight on b6, which is something we need to consider as... so maybe pawn takes is our first move. Forcing a... You'd probably have to take with the rook for me to then take with the rook, which is no good because then we lose the queen to the knight. Okay. In which case, what else do we have? We've got a dark squared bishop that could get involved at some point. Maybe not. I still feel the rook on the H file comes into play somewhere. We've also got the light squared bishop attacking the knight on b5, which would then attack the queen. How does that play into our strategy? And let's not forget his dark squared bishop is actually hanging. Which is interesting. So if I was to take that dark squared bishop, he could deliver a check along the A file, but I could just shuffle along. But I doubt that's the solution. That is definitely not the solution. Could it be? Could that? So I either deliver a check, or no, I can't take that. I know if I take the dark squared bishop, that's my queen out of danger. Okay, that is an interesting possibility. It looks like a good move because nothing is hanging after that, surely. But I don't think that... Is that the move? I can try it because it's hard to see what we're trying to achieve here. I only see this bishop hanging. So if it's not taking the bishop, let's say it's that rook. That rook to h8, king takes. And then... And then what? Pawn takes pawn? No. Because knight takes that queen, takes my queen even. So at least we know it's either the rook to h8 or queen takes bishop. Now after queen takes bishop, I don't know what else is left. I don't know what his move is. His forcing move is a check, which is neither here nor there really. And because it is a Saturday puzzle, there must be more to it. Should I just take that bishop? Should I start with taking the bishop? It looks like the right move. Saying that, the pawn on b3 is also hanging. I'd rather take the bishop. Queen wouldn't be trapped afterwards. Let's try that. We could pontificate forever. I knew it was too easy for that to be the case, but you have to try. So it's definitely centered around that f7 pawn. So it's just a case of what am I taking with. Let's try with the pawn, because I've been through all of my ideas. Okay, and then my last idea was the rook. So that was correct. And then the pawn. I don't think it is the pawn because I can lose my queen. So is it queen take? No, it can't be queen takes because the rook can take. So now I'm down a rook. We get that. Do I deliver another check with my other rook? He goes back to his original position and we have made zero progress. I just don't want my queen getting taken. It must be pawn takes. I'm so bad at this. Okay. What's the next logical move? Now do I... No, I'm still a pawn. I'm down a rook. There must be some kind of compensation for this. Am I now taking the... Do I then take the knight? Queen moves and somehow is good for me? No. These puzzles are brutal. Did I try pawn take? I did try pawn takes on f7 already, didn't I? So our focus is the queen right now and not losing her. I don't know if this is supposed to be easy or obvious. I do not know. I'm looking and I'm looking and I'm not seeing anything. Even if the rook takes, I could take and it would mean nothing to me. I could take the f7, take the f7, pawn with the rook, takes back with his rook, and it has one defender. No, yeah, one defender, two attackers. But I just see my queen getting taken as soon as I move my rook. Really not seeing much sense in this. Clearly missing something. So, well, let's have a look. I've moved the king's move to the H rank for a reason. Is to have one less defender of the f7 pawn, surely, because it's now being attacked 3 times and it's defended twice. So we have to make it worthwhile. So let's concentrate our efforts on that f7 pawn. And I think I tried pawn takes, which was wrong. So if queen takes, rook takes. If queen takes, rook takes, pawn takes, and then the queen can just, I don't know, it's not that. Have I tried them all? Have I tried all of them? Gets to the point. See, there's nothing else that can attack this pawn. Okay. So it must be moving this queen then, because she will get taken. Did I? I'm not delivering another check. How long do you stare at this until you take a hint? Because that queen's getting taken and there's no, other than taking the bishop, there was nowhere better to put it. So where's this going? So you're sending it back to where it just came from? You're sending the king back? I don't see the logic in this. Now what? With what? I'm a rook down. Now is it pawn takes? No. These puzzles should be easy. It would be great if there was a point in this rook, in that rook going there. Because I'm not seeing it. Hint. What? I'm giving an... No, I'm going straight for the hint because this... Are you serious? And then what? Queen... Oh my gosh. Who in their right mind is going to see that? Who in their right mind sacks 2 rooks to deliver a checkmate? At what point in this puzzle am I thinking to myself, where are we? Yeah, this is it. At what point am I thinking, yeah, obviously back rank check with the queen on the H file? But in the defense of chess.com, it was all forcing moves. All those moves were forcing, which I didn't look at. I do need a tactics puzzle, a puzzle checklist to go through, because I could then go through a similar checklist in a real game, but at the speed of light. Wow. That was ridiculous. Okay, next one. That was truly ridiculous. Sunday the 12th. A world open to remember. I'm not remembering any of it. It's all forgetful. Right. Black to move. Here we go. Black to move. That king is in a bad way. Okay. Now this is interesting because it would be checkmate on G2 if it wasn't for that rook. Which must mean there's a check with the knight on, let's have a look, on G3. King goes to H2, and then the queen cannot take on G2. So king is on H2, sorry. Queen takes a G2, but the queen is protecting that square. So we know it's not that. Let's find another check. The next check is pawn takes. Pawn takes pawn. Queen takes, queen takes, king takes, and then pawn takes rook, because wait a minute. Pawn takes rook, and then either the light squared bishop or the knight takes a pawn. It doesn't work because... Okay, let's go back one. Pawn takes, queen takes, queen takes, king takes. So the king is currently on G2 in my head. I've got this light squared bishop. My light squared bishop should be delivering something. It's really not in a position to. Oh, wait a minute. Knight to G3. Knight to G3. King to... King to H2. Then knight to... And then it's knight to F1. And if the rook takes, the queen takes, and I'm up a piece. Am I up a piece? No, I'm not. I'm up an exchange. That doesn't feel great because there's a lot going on around my king. In fact, when queen takes my pawn on F7, it looks like checkmate. So I think it's a series of checks. So it's knight to G3. 3, king to h2, knight to f1. And if bishop takes, oh, okay, I don't think that works. So if pawn takes, check, queen takes, no, neither works. Neither works. I can't get my bishops involved either somehow. Unless it's pawn takes, queen takes, then deliver a check with the knight. Deliver a check with a knight if the queen takes it. If the queen... I lost my train of thought. Pawn takes... Oh, but the rook could take. That's fine, then my rook takes. But then it's not check. He can still deliver checkmate. So it's pawn takes. I don't even know if the king has to move. I don't know if the queen has to take. It looks very forcing. Let me think. Pawn takes. King. Yeah, I think pawn takes. The queen would have to take. Pawn takes, queen takes. Deliver check with a knight, and then his knight on e. Oh, to be fair, even if I was to deliver check with my knight in the first instance, his knight on e2 can take it. So that definitely doesn't work. What are we doing here? So if we deliver a check with my queen, queen takes, queen takes, pawn takes, king takes pawn, rook takes rook, and then either the knight or the bishop takes. Stick to forcing moves. So I'm delivering a check with either the knight, the pawn, or the queen. And so far, none of them work. Which makes for a difficult puzzle. So I'm just going to have to try all three because I'm missing something. That I predicted. So queen takes queen, then the rook takes the queen, or the king takes the queen. Either way, I'm not having a great time here. What's going on here? Okay. So I'm delivering check with the knight. Am I now taking that? No. No. Those are my thoughts. Oh, check with the rook. I don't feel any better about that. And then take the rook with the. Oh no, try again. Oh, it's another check. And then take. Was I ever going to do that in my head? Never. Never in a million years. These puzzles, Friday, Thursday, well, this whole week was a car crash, but especially Wednesday onwards, I really need to pull my socks up and figure these out. I need to commit to making a note. Yeah, let me start a notes on my phone and just think forcing moves. Forcing moves, it's definitely checks. And if there's no checks, then you can look at other things. But that was it. I really hope you guys did better than me because I failed miserably. But they say there is no failure. There's you either win or you learn. Did I learn? I learned painfully that you need to keep looking for checks. Forcing moves. Forcing moves. That's the name of the game. Okay. That's it for now. And I will see you next time.